I can't believe it. Ryan, we're back again.
Look at you.
And we always enjoy this. It's a fun time for us to get together as old friends to reminisce about some fun times in pro wrestling. We hear from people all over the world, and hopefully they enjoy it too. Not everybody does. You're not everybody's cup of tea, and neither am I.
Well, you know what's my cup of tea? You are, my friend. I haven't seen this guy. It feels like forever. You're looking adorable to me. Isn't he looking? I don't know if it's just me. I am just crazy about this cat. Haven't seen him in forever, and it's my pleasure to be here.
Well, as we sit here today, cold outside, the holiday season. So I thought this would be, it depends on what you want to consider the holiday season. Where it begins. Some people say it begins after Halloween.
When does it end?
But I thought that this would be a lot of fun. If we
I got that neck good just then.
To WCW.
No, I'm talking through his introduction. This is not going to...
February of 1992. This is saying February of 92, but this probably came out in December of 91. Here we've got PN News. And,
this may be the greatest cover I've ever seen.
And Missy Hyatt dressed up as Mrs. Claus. And, boy, there's a lot going on here, huh?
This magazine, this has got to be the best magazine cover. Like, is it me? I mean, like, and my mood has just, I was already in a good mood. I have gone to another level right now.
I know you're not a huge PN News fan, but seeing him dressed as Santa Claus does something for you.
It's perfect, and Missy Hyatt is gorgeous there.
This is probably
I love the holidays. Look at all the ornaments, the wrestling ornaments in the background.
It looks like Rick Steiner's up here on the top of the tree.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So,
I love this.
Okay.
Good job.
Well,
nice. Wait a minute. What happened here?
This cover's fallen off, so I'm going to remove this for now.
Oh, wow.
So we go to
what a mess.
This is February of 92. We're thinking this is more of December of 91. Ryan, when you think of WCW December 91, early 92, anything come to mind? We know we've got Starrcade. That was the year of the Lethal Lottery.
Hey, I remember on this time, I'm just young, and I'm just trying to watch it on the Superstation. I'm trying to figure out what time the show comes on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my ma to put it on the TV for me.
You're who?
My ma.
Okay.
I'm trying to get her to put it on the TV for me. I'm not even sure how to work the TV yet. I'm so young. Mm-hmm. But I know I need to see wrestling.
And their show was the TBS Superstation, WCW Saturday Night Power Hour.
With anything I can get. I didn't even know what it was. I wanted more. I knew I wanted more.
You saw Abdullah the Butcher in the chair of torture.
You better believe I did.
If you ever watch Halloween Havoc 91, they never called it the electric chair. They called it the chair of torture. Some people might say the chair of torture is what the fans were sitting in that night, but that's not me.
I feel like you had to have known Abdullah would be sitting in that chair because it's so wide.
Yeah, and he was probably the best one in that match to get electrocuted. I mean, if Sting got electrocuted, that'd be a real downer for the night. Wouldn't it? They'd never bounce back from
You know what's funny? I never pictured that match ending and Sting just hooked up and just, you know what I mean? Just think about that for a second.
Volts coursing through his veins. Yeah, it's sad to think about. Now, what is Big Josh thankful for this holiday season? If he could, he'd give the York Foundation new corporate offices somewhere far, far away where they can't bother anyone in WCW anymore. He's not a fan of the York Foundation, it sounds like, Big Josh. What's that all about?
I don't remember that ever coming to fruition. Any kind of I don't remember that feud ever ending in a wrestling match.
Looks like Scott Steiner is posing with a poster of himself.
I don't blame him. He's trying to block Rick. Rick's sneaking in there a little bit. He's trying to.
Already we're seeing the beginning of Big Papa Punk.
Big Papa Punk.
Realize it. This is Cactus Jack, who's come out of a box, and he and Sting are tussling here.
Cactus is in pretty good shape at that point. That's probably the best shape he's ever in.
I really dug WCW around this time. There was a lot of fun stuff going on.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
We're not too far away from Bill Watts coming in, and it kind of goes downhill for me a little bit, but it was still okay.
92 is not as good as even, like 90 was good, but 91.
Yeah. And boy, oh boy, look at Johnny B. Bad sitting at the piano with the Santa Claus hat on.
Boy, he's brightened up. How did he not have a 20-year run with that character? How did that character not just stay... You know what I mean? I don't understand how Mark Marrow ever became. There should have never been a Mark Mero in professional wrestling. He already had it made as Johnny B. Bad. What was he thinking?
All right, so we've got Johnny B. Bad, we've got Wild Man Mark Mero, and we've got Marvelous Mark Mero. You give me a first, second, and third there.
Well, obviously, I like
Johnny B. Bad
first. Yeah, definitely Marvelous Mark Mero. Because Marvelous Mark Mero, him being jealous of Sable, not wanting her to get the spotlight.
Yeah,
but a real funny thing too, he'd wear those boxer trunks and he'd pull them up real high.
Yeah.
I like that move where it was kind of like he was kind of like a goofball. He got to pull those boxing trunks up. Real
What
high.
I never understood about Wild Man Mark Mero is I never understood what made him so wild. Just those wild-looking eyebrows, I guess.
I think, yeah, it's
Bushy,
spot on.
those bushy eyebrows.
And Vince McMahon screaming, "Look at him! He's the Wild Man."
He wasn't that wild though, really. When you
No, I didn't thought.
Well,
You know who was wild? Johnny B. Bad. Johnny with the bad blaster and the makeup and the feather boa and the kiss that don't miss.
But he had the that roar at the beginning that became Sable's music. So I guess they were saying that he was maybe from the jungle or something. We're just guessing here. We don't know.
I'm just trying to figure out what conversation took place where it was like we're never gonna see Johnny B. Bad again.
A nice picture. Well, maybe WCW owned Johnny B. Bad when he came over. And
Do you think it's possible that Johnny B. Bad could go in the Hall of Fame? I know Mark Mero is looking out against
as Wild Man Mark Mero or as Johnny B. Bad?
No, as Johnny B. Bad. Do you think if Mark Mero went to the Hall of Fame, I guess he wouldn't? Doesn't he speak out against professional wrestling?
I think we need to get some other people in the Hall of Fame first, like Shane Douglas, Sabu, Raven, before we get into Johnny.
Anybody that wasn't in ECW?
Well, look at this great picture here of
So you got your ECW hoodie on today.
of Paul Heyman, Paulie Dangerously, Rick Rude, and Medusa. What a great picture!
This is probably the Rick Rude that has that music that I like. Simply Ravishing?
Oh, abs all in a row. Is that the one? Abs all in a row. That's what you're trying to do, going to the.
I'm working on
Going
it,
to the
baby.
gym every
I'm
day.
going for abs all in a row.
Now there's Steve Austin's wife, Lady Blossom. She wants a new wardrobe and some emerald jewelry, perhaps a fur.
I commend Steve Austin for not caring what a woman's face looks like.
Boy, you're coming in hot over there. Lady Blossom and Deborah McMichael, Steve Austin seemed to have a type of the big chested valet.
Voluptuous.
Scott Steiner, superstar Pac. What's his favorite maneuver over here? The Frankensteiner, of course.
Do you think Rick
His favorite
Steiner
team-
is smelling something in the water here? Do you think he's calling WWF saying, I'm going to need something to do here soon?
His favorite movie is Terminator and Terminator 2. He's really on a Terminator kick at this point.
Boy, he's an intense fella. Hey, wait a minute. Was this around the time that Rick Steiner was tag teaming with Mike Rotundo?
Who? Rick Steiner? You mean the Varsity Club?
Yeah.
I think that was like 87, wasn't it?
I thought it was older, but I'm just trying to figure out why Scott Steiner's doing all this stuff by himself and what was Rick Steiner doing. That's all I was trying to figure out.
He's trying to... Oh, what does Arn Anderson want for the holidays? He wants to give the Freebirds something they could both use. How about some style, wrestling ability, and personality? Boy, coming from Arn Anderson, those are big words.
Ha ha ha, dude. He laughed at his own joke.
Yeah, because he has no personality.
You know who does that a lot? Jerry Lawler laughs at his own joke a lot.
You know, WCW got in a lot of trouble from the comic books because of Arachnaman. They said that was too close to Spider-Man. Do you agree with them? Is Arachnaman too close to Spider-Man?
Agreed.
They almost put one over on the old...
Give it a shot.
on old Marvel, whoever owns Spider-Man.
Arachnaman. Good effort.
I love the.
Is that a Terry Taylor?
I love the attitude,
I wonder who
though.
came up with that one. I love to know.
I love the attitude, though. All right, let's see here. The Ross Report and Tony Schiavone talks. They both are in the
Dude.
season. Look at with the Santa Claus.
Dude,
hats on.
Arachnaman is back.
You called it.
There's so much going on this page. First off, look at the young and beautiful JR here. I mean, blonde Tony Schiavone is looking good, but JR, have you ever seen JR look that good? I've never seen him look that nice.
I don't think I've seen him smile since the early '90s.
I don't know if he can. Poor guy.
Van Hammer's looking like $1 million down there.
I just popped that off. But Van Hammer looks good, but you know what I'm thinking?
Do you want to hit a double bicep? You're going to the gym a lot these days. Go ahead and give the fans, the lady listeners and viewers.
Should I do it?
Both of them.
You don't mind? You don't mind, do you?
Go ahead and show a little bit of the eye candy.
Check this out.
A little bit of the, yeah. You've been working hard at the gym.
Yeah,
that's right.
God, it feels good. Thank you for letting me get that out of my system.
Van Hammer. You know, he
real quick.
Yeah.
I was thinking just this week, oddly enough, about the Great Muta. I was thinking that if I was a mixed martial arts fighter, I would really like to do like a Muta gimmick where I have like face paint and a mist and stuff like that.
But instead of the mist, you spit out like a carb-free beer.
I like the Michelob Gold. I mean, you know, it's good. Now wait. But then I thought to myself, I thought a couple problems with what I wanted to do.
You were thinking about this week.
You can't do
on the treadmill.
You can't do like Asian Mystique and be a white guy. I don't think. Like
you have a mask on.
No, but I have the face paint or whatever. But you can't. Then they're not gonna let me fight in face paint. I figure. Do you think that's a rule that you can't fight in face paint?
There have been MMA fights where some people have worn face paint before.
Really?
Yeah,
in UFC?
In Japan.
I was gonna say not in UFC.
Yeah, in Japan.
So well, maybe I could fight in Japan.
Yeah,
I have no problem with fighting.
You'd be the mysterious Bukkake instead of the mysterious Kabuki.
I would beat the crap out of those little Japs, Japanese people.
You could be the mysterious Bukkake.
Almost missed that one. Mysterious Bukkake.
We're having a lot of fun today.
We are.
It's the holiday season.
We like this time in WCW.
Ryan is partaking of the eggnog today. Yeah, Medusa. She's I like the. We're getting.
What is she?
We're getting very close to the Dangerous Alliance here. Let's get real.
Okay. Let's get real.
And Medusa is a part of the Dangerous Alliance. I know you loved it when she dropped the phone in at War Games. When she's on the roof of the War Games and she drops the phone in from the roof and she's on the roof.
I don't remember.
Now you don't even remember it. And you loved it so much.
No, I loved it when at the Clash of the Champions that Rick Rude took out the leg from Sting and he wasn't going to be able to be in the main event, and then they stood in the ring and Sting was trying. He had to go to the doctor, but he came back from the hospital and he had 10 seconds or he was going to forfeit the match.
Yeah.
And they were like 10, and he was outside the building beating on the doors trying to find a way in. And then finally he gets to the ring as they're going 2, and then he hits the ring and they have the match. Like that was a great Clash of the Champions.
I don't remember that one. Was that the main event?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll check that one out if I ever get internet back.
It's a great one.
Now here we have a spotlight of Rick Steiner and Mr. Hughes.
Well, it's about time.
You wanted to see the dog-faced gremlin. Here he is.
I wanted to know where he was, and now I regret it.
And now they've put a cartoon-esque explosion behind it to show that action.
Wow, what a shot. Is that what happened to his asshole when he got kicked in the gut? That's what
Now let's see what Rick Steiner wants for Christmas here. He'd give his brother Scott the healthiest 1992 he can have, plus a World Tag Team belt to go with it. Hey, that's a present for me too.
That was a little shot. That was a little shot at Scott Steiner for maybe not being there for his brother, being a little hurt in 91.
So you're saying that the seeds of dissension are already being planted for Big Papa Pump?
I know, hey, I got a brother. I know a dig when I hear one.
You've probably said the same thing. I give my brother Scott the healthiest 1992 possible.
Hey, I tried.
10 questions for Brian, Flying Brian.
That was an ill-advised haircut. That's a supercut right there.
I'd like to give my buddy, the Z-Man, a healthy neck and maybe a helping hand avenging himself against Cactus Jack and Abdullah the Butcher.
He was trying. Brian Pillman was trying so hard to get the Z-Man over.
We were just talking about it. Starrcade 91, the Lethal Lottery.
I love Lethal Lottery. I'm a big fan. Do you like Lethal Lottery?
I don't, because it's just kind of random tag matches.
I like it. It gives you it's a very spontaneous event. There are no matches. They're just you come in the night with the roster and you draw names out and then you end it with a battle royal. What's better than that?
I was a big fan of this. When Sting put Cactus Jack in the trash can and then splashed the trash can. I remember a friend of mine in high school, I put them in a trash can and put them on a table and climbed to a high elevation and jumped off. But just like that.
And your intestines haven't been right ever since.
I'm a little gassy today. Is that all right? I'm trying to enjoy that. Some of us enjoy the holiday seasons, and some of us don't. I'll try that low-carb Michelob Ultra here in a second. Here we have Elegante and the Freebirds. Look at that, a young Razor Ramon.
I know it. I've seen it. Diamond Stud. Looking good.
Do you like the Diamond Stud character? It was very similar to Razor Ramon. When you stop and think about it, there were a lot of similarities between the Razor Ramon character and the Diamond Stud.
I'm trying to remember growing up if I was even like a big Razor Ramon fan. I can't say that I was. I liked Shawn Michaels a lot, and I know I liked that ladder match that they had, like a lot of people did at WrestleMania 10.
Well, that wasn't the Diamond Stud. That was Razor Ramon.
I didn't. The Diamond Stud was like, didn't even like exist to me.
The Diamond Mind.
I tell you something else. I never liked Diamond Dallas Page.
But you do his yoga every morning now.
I.
You can't have it both ways. Either you like him or you don't.
Let's not get that out there that I'm doing DDP's yoga every morning, but
It's every other morning.
I do DDP yoga at times, and I use it for things, and it's good. I like it. Good job, DDP. And I like you on it. I like you now. I didn't like DDP when I was a kid. I didn't like DDP when I was 9 years old. I wasn't getting it. I didn't want him to win the lottery. I didn't think he should have. I didn't think he deserved to win the lottery.
But you like Max Muscle as bodyguard.
I did not. I didn't think that was necessary at all.
You like Kimberly?
Who doesn't like Kimberly?
Yeah. The PN News wrapped before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Yuletide, and all through the packed house, not a homeboy was rapping, not even MC Mouse.
Wow. Just turn the page.
You could read this to your family this holiday season before they open presents.
Read it to your family. I don't want to read it to my family. You're wearing the PN News outfit today. You're dressed like PN News.
Some might call me ST News, actually. That's what I'm going by these days. Cactus Jack, there's a madness to his method.
Look how lean he is here.
Yeah, that's a lean Cactus Jack right
It's
there.
outrageous.
Feuding with...
I bet some good meals led to the Cactus Jack that we all know and love. The mankind. And
Were you a fan of the Cactus Jack Abdullah the Butcher team?
I am. I like those two wild men together.
Now, what does Cactus Jack want for Christmas? Read that for us. And he's in the box here.
Is this it right
That's
here?
it. Just go ahead and read that if you
Presents for the holidays? How about broken bones and pain and bedlam and mayhem for everyone? And what could be better?
Now, let's see. What does Sting want? I have a present all wrapped up in a box for the mystery
Do it
man.
like Sting.
I have a present wrapped up in a... That's Roger Klotz. That's Roger. That's Doug from Doug. I have a present all wrapped up in a box for the mystery man who's been sending me presents. What is it? I'm not saying, folks, yet. That was kind of a cop-out. I think Sting could have done a little better with that.
Yeah, he didn't give you much material on that
really
either.
didn't.
They didn't even. I don't think Sting said that.
Probably not.
I don't think Cactus Jack said it either. I mean, did you ever remember Cactus Jack? There was no bang bang. He.
Barry Windham's walking tall these days.
That soft body.
Yep.
Not like me. Don't make me do two double biceps in one show. I'll tell you right now. What's this?
Well, this is the calendar to celebrate 1992 in style. We've got all the greats on this side. And then we've got... I think this is the better side right here. Look at this.
This is definitely the better side.
Look at these greats. Look
That's
at
definitely
Missy
the best.
Hyatt. Looks like $1 million.
I know it. Steve Austin down there.
Tom Zink.
Stunning Steve. The balding Steve.
Steve Austin's got the gimmick haircut. Is that the gimmick haircut at this point?
No, that's right before the gimmick haircut, I'd say.
Okay. Tom Zink looks like $1 million right
Steve
there.
Austin looks like a ghost there.
How about Richard Morton?
Tom Zink, he always looked good.
How about Richard Morton?
I never liked Richard Morton very much. Understand?
Would you like to keep this to put on your wall to ring in the new year?
I'd love it. I don't think it's going to work, though. Is it? Did the days line up?
Barry Windham wants for Christmas. I think if I could, I'd give my friend Ron Simmons the world title. What a selfless act.
Looks like he gave himself an 8-ball.
The York Foundation is programmed for success.
Well, we all know that's not true. We all know that wasn't true.
Well, I don't know. They went on to good success.
What, the 6-man tag titles? Oh, no, they won. I think they just got the United States 6-man tag titles.
Here they are right here. Look at that in all their glory.
All right, now...
Spreadsheet software.
There's so many things about this that I don't like. I don't so much dislike Terry Taylor. I feel like this is probably the best thing that I ever saw Terry Taylor do on television.
Even more than the Red Rooster?
Do you really want Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton to be Richard Morton? Do you really want them to be like heels? Like I don't understand. I mean, is that what you want?
You're saying the bloom is off the rose for Ricky Morton and Tommy Rich at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe some young whippersnappers could take this role a little better.
And they don't even like. I'm not even buying the fact that they have dough. You know what I mean? Like they're not even making me buy the fact that hey, they were young, they love the fans, they love the business, and now they're all about money. I just didn't. Isn't that what that was supposed to be?
I feel like Alexandria York is the best part of this because she looks like a very serious management type with the laptop computer. But
She's got it together, and I think Terry Taylor's not bad either. Actually,
I agree.
He had some pretty bad surrounding pieces with Richard Morton. And
maybe we take out
Tommy
Richard
Rich.
Morton and Tommy Rich and replace him with the Steiner brothers.
I think the idea for Tommy Rich and Richard Morton is not bad. I just don't think they went all the way with it. I don't think they pushed it hard.
I know Scott Steiner could have some fun talking about the laptop computer and all that.
I don't think that the Steiner brothers could do that angle right either.
I'm looking for a hooch online tonight, baby.
But that wasn't even a thing at the time.
That's Billy Graham.
You couldn't look for a hooch online back in those days.
I don't think that started until like maybe the mid to late 90s. So there's still time.
I remember I was looking for a hooch online.
What does Ron Simmons want for? I'd like to give something to Lex Luger, a fat lip.
Yeah,
You felt like that before.
absolutely.
Like when you threw that bag back in the McDonald's drive-thru, you wanted to give somebody a fat lip that night. I remember.
They got my order wrong twice.
Bill Kazmaier, I'd like to give Lex Luger an attitude adjustment. That sounds like John Cena's answer these days. Isn't he the attitude adjustment?
That's why Bill Cosmire's not on. It wasn't on for long.
Elegante and Oz encounter the Swamp Thing. Look at this. Here's a young Kevin Nash. I don't know what the Swamp Thing is. Is that like a syndicated show?
That's weird. The young Kevin Nash looks a lot like the old Kevin Nash.
What does this say here? They're filming the Swamp Thing Universal Studios. Are you familiar with the Swamp Thing?
Oh, is Elegante in the movie?
Yeah, there he is.
Is it a movie?
I'm not sure. It looks like a TV show of some kind.
Is that? That's not Tatanka, is it?
It's Kevin Nash.
That's not Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
See him right there?
I guess it is. That doesn't look like him to me.
See, there he is. Swamp Thing.
Have you ever seen anyone take an uglier picture than that? Have you ever seen that Swamp Thing?
That's Bobby Eaton, isn't it?
That is some gross shit right there.
I always thought that was the joke. Bobby Eaton was beautiful Bobby, but he wasn't a great looking guy. Wasn't that always the joke?
I guess so.
Yeah.
When does that joke ever end? Like, that joke went on for years.
I mean, you wouldn't call yourself beautiful Bobby Eaton if you looked like that. I wouldn't think, unless it was a prank.
I suppose not. This was always weaker, I always thought, than the WWF. The WCW merchandise, I always thought they didn't go hard enough for their merchandise.
I like you're into bodybuilding these days and health and fitness. How about a shirt instead of Flex with Lex? How about Flex with Ryan?
That has a very similar ring to it. I'll take it. Give me the poster. A lot of Sting stuff.
PN News, the Rap Master.
I have a real problem with white T-shirts. I don't think they last. I don't have no interest in a white T-shirt. There's a lot of them in this catalog.
That's not a bad shirt. Elegante stepping in the ring and he's real big.
That's exactly how I remember Elegante when I saw him live as a child. I know I've probably said it on here before. He is an impressive sight. He stands out from the nosebleed stands.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about December here, and look, we've got Baltimore on the 28th.
It's a matinee.
And then the Norfolk, Virginia Scope on the 29th for Starrcade 91.
Wow. I would like to have been to that for Battle Bowl.
Missy does mail.
What else does Missy do?
Look how tall Elegante is here.
Boy, there's a lot of Elegante in this magazine. They're really trying.
And I think I've seen this picture of Sting hitting Cactus Jack with the trash can a couple times. Right?
Jack is getting torn up in this magazine. It's like every other page he's getting hit with something different and falling down. Like, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it either.
What do you think of the Big Josh character? He was like a lumberjack from the Pacific Northwest who wanted to fight. You like that?
Now, when you call him Big Josh, it seems like when you talk about that, what's his real name? Do you know his real name?
Yeah, that's Matt Bourne, who played Doink the Clown.
Matt Bourne. It seems like every time you talk about Matt Bourne, you refer to him as Big Josh. Not Doink the Clown, not
Me?
Matt Bourne. Yeah, you personally. You always talk about Big Josh. So is Big Josh, what do you think about this character? Did you identify with this character? You lived in the woods. Did you want to, like, legitimately in the woods, did you want to be a lumberjack?
I like the idea of a guy cutting down trees and looking for a fight. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. You're asking me about it. You know that's not something that I would normally identify with. I think you identify with it.
I'm not saying you identify with it. I'm saying, do you think it's a good character and a good persona?
No, and I don't think that shirt fits. Well, if there was ever a parting shot, boy, Abdullah the Butcher, he really commanded a lot of attention. I mean, like, every time he's on screen, he's doing some nonsense that you gotta look at.
I have yet, to this day, seen anyone else in my life that looks like Abdullah the Butcher. He looks like somebody I've never seen before.
That's
what you want it's what you used to want for a wrestler, right?
That is.
And this is the real back cover. So we were talking about Battle Bowl. That's kind of the poster of it.
Oh, I like that other. I thought that should have been the back cover. I think you should lose that and just keep that as the back cover.
Well,
what are you going to do now? Are you going to staple this back together? What are you going to do?
Well,
tape.
I do read this an awful lot when we're not doing the show, so I'm going to have to make sure it's very
obviously that thing is worn out,
very put together.
I'm just happy the pages weren't stuck together on this one.
So Ryan, February '92, late '91, early '92 WCW. You're a fan of what's going on here?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I dig Battle Bowl. I like that Cactus Jack. I love Sting. I'm a huge Sting fan of that Sting. Not all Stings, but that Sting.
All Sting.
Not all Sting.
How about the Police? The Police Sting.
Again, not all Sting.
You know what I liked about PN News? It's been established on this program that I'm a fan of the top rope splash.
Okay.
And PN News' finishing move was called the Broken Record.
Yeah.
And he would go to the top rope and he'd go like this, and his music would start.
Yeah.
Because he felt so confident in his win that he'd start the music, and then he'd do the big splash.
I love that. I forgot about that.
I always thought that was really neat. Yeah.
Now, did that ever not work out? Did the music ever come on and he miss it? And you know he missed it. That has to be the finish. Like if he missed it, right?
I never remember seeing that happen.
It never happened?
Maybe he only used that against maybe what you would call like enhancement talent. When it was like a showcase.
Was he a hero or was he a bad guy?
Oh, he was well loved.
Yeah, he seems like
he's dressed up like Santa Claus.
But he wasn't around long, right?
Not very long. He popped back up in ECW as a member of the Baldies. Briefly.
I could be in that.
Okay, Ryan. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you and yours.
This is not my gift, right?